Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mello. I typically upload no commentary gameplay. I have a few movie summaries that are uploaded as well if you wanted to watch those. And I also do character lore in the Outlast trials. Today I'm finally focusing on Otto and Arora. It's been like how long? 2 to 3 months since these prime assets has been released in the Outlast trials.
Bitch, you better be joking.
And I still have not made a video until now. So today we'll be talking about their physical appearance, their background, and also their personality within the trials, and ending this video off with just some of the random trivia that is for these characters. If my content interests you, stick around as we're going to dive into who exactly are Arora and Otto within the Outlast trials.
I shall deliver your punishment.
Suckers, you think you can break me like that? With an animal carcass?
Is that you, sweet pea?
You should have burned down this bounty, Talos.
I'll see you soon.
We have to show them what it is they want.
Hopeless. Too stupid. Too soft.
I'll make you smile yet, Mello.
Starting this video off with the physical appearance of the two, starting off with Otto. So he is an obese man in his 60s. He has pale skin. He's covered in graying black hairs and red spots. His body is disformed due to exposure to toxic chemicals, which I will talk about that a little bit later in the background of the two prime assets. His neck has rolls of fat. He wears a stained white shirt beneath a dark purple tuxedo covered with gold accents. He also has a cummerbund and a bow tie. He has a receding hairline. He has it part in the middle, and he sports a mustache and a goatee. He has blue eyes. He also wears small round bifocals, and he wields a golden buzzsaw as his weapon. Now, when we're focusing on Arora, she is growing out of his hunchback like a parasite twin. She has 2 left arms. One of them is in an unusual spot, and then another one is coming out of Otto's neck, while her right arm is missing. She does have one single dangling leg, and she has an exposed rib cage. Her head is oversized, which features sunken eyes and a severe overbite with her upper teeth permanently visible. She wears a loose purple dress with gold trims that drips over both siblings. She has a magenta gloves and lavish jewelry. Her choice of weapon, though, is a set of toxic chemicals. Despite their differences, there are some physical similarities with the two. The main ones is the blue eyes. They have similar pale skin. Their clothing and accessories actually coordinate with the dark purples and golds, and that there is reinforcing their shared identity and also their heritage as well.
You've done it again, Arora. You have to warn me.
Diving into the background of the twins, they were born in 1899 by Anton Kress, and they lost their mother at birth. As I mentioned earlier, they are conjoined due to toxic chemical exposure. Now, despite of their unusual conditions, Otto is into politics and Arora is into chemistry, which makes perfect sense because you have to trial, be a name, kill the politician, and then you also have Arora using chemicals on reagents that cause you to throw up whenever you get hit with those. They are working together with Kress Chemical, and they gain significant influence in Buffalo, New York. Their efforts include manipulating water pollution regulations through political connections and reviving the company's fortunes, which has declined due to their father's alcoholism. Despite their early influence in Buffalo, the twins descended into increasingly destructive behavior. From 1920 and onward, they became associated with series of violent crimes that escalated in the 1940s, earning them a press nickname, the Buffalo Minotaur. As the investigation grew over the years, it was uncovered that the Kress family estate has been used to conceal evidence of their activities. Now, with the violent behaviors and destructive behavior they was having during this time, during the 1940s, the siblings' victims was reported as prostitutes and Canadian locals as well. Now, in 1924, their father attempted to separate them, but he was unsuccessful, and he was sawed in half by the twins, who then proceeded to slowly torture him to death by sewing him together with both halves upside down, and they kept him alive for weeks before they finally made the decision to dispose of him. Now, during this time in the 1957, so we're jumping into the future a little bit, Clyde Perry is of course investigating the sibling. Clyde Perry, I don't know how much Murkoff is paying you to go through all of the mental, physical, and emotional gymnastics that you have to do to find these prime assets, but the money cannot be worth it, because you got beat up on by Coyle, and then you also got beat up on by Franco, and then on top of that, Mother Gooseberry tried to attack you as well. What made you think that you can just walk up to these people and investigate their whole story and think that you're going to leave the situation untouched? Now, a year later, after Clyde Perry is investigating the siblings, the police finally arrested Otto and Arora after finding them at their home in a violent state. And during that time, Kress Chemicals has entered into a business partnership with Murkoff. Very interesting. So Otto and Arora was obviously imprisoned because of the involvement with the murders that was going around in Buffalo, New York, and they were taken under the control of Clyde Perry. And then, as I mentioned earlier, they was bought into the Murkoff Corporation Chemical Research and Development Division, right? During this time, Arora learned Japanese, and she was able to communicate with the doctor that was present at the time. During their visit at their laboratory, though, the doctor informed them that Clyde Perry has died. Now, I don't know if he died because of them or if it was a completely different situation. I don't know, because when I'm looking at some of the stuff online, I'm not seeing that he died by the hands of them. But during that time, when the doctor informed them that Perry is now dead, they were then incapacitated, and the twins was put under chemical gas and revealed they would learn more whenever they wake up. And ultimately, Otto and Arora are now prime assets for the Outlast trials. I did some research on Clyde Perry a little bit more. I am going to have a separate video about him because he is very interesting, but Clyde Perry did die April 24th, 1960. He did not die by the twins. Actually, he died by getting struck by a shuttle. Now, he was deceived by Amelia, and I know I still need to do a video on Amelia, but I will not go into further details about this situation.
Can I say something? Your heart is beating. I can smell the tang of your sex. My heart gets my blood up. Me too.
Now, diving into their personalities, I couldn't find much about it. We are only given 2 documentations within the trials for Otto and Arora. The first one is the Kress estate, and then the second one is thought leaders. Kress estate is focusing on like them having their violent and destructive behavior in Buffalo, New York when they went on that murder spree and was taking out people left and right. And then thought leaders is more so an interview with Dr. Easterman, and he is talking about how basically Arora has taught herself Japanese and he was bringing the doctor in and all that stuff, right? But those documents is not enough to like give me a clear picture of like how their personality is like. You get glimpses of their personality in some of the dialogue that you catch within the trials. I personally feel like they are the type of people that think that they're better than everyone else because Otto is a politician. They come from a wealthy background, so I just feel like they think they are better than everyone else and they are above the law and above everybody. Because even in the documentation regarding the Kress estate, they talked about how they are trying to brush everything that they did under the rug because Murkoff and Kress Chemicals has this alliance going on. So that's how I view it. I could be completely wrong, and comment down below if you don't agree with me and what do you think their personality is like. Me personally, I just feel like they really do come off high class. They come off very prestigious, and they think they're better than everyone because they have this wealthy background and they're related to Anton, and they just have all this stuff going for them.
See behind the curtain. See
Now, ending this video off with some random trivia about them. Otto and Arora were teased in the documents and also in mugshots for the breakable TVs during the prime time event. They are the second character to have themselves teased in the prime time event because the first one was Franco. Now, they are the first prime assets in the Outlast trials to work as a duo. However, they're not the first antagonists within the Outlast universe to have a duo dynamic. The first game to introduce a duo dynamic was Outlast 2 with Laird and Nick, and with those two, Laird was actually the smaller one while Nick was the bigger one. The main difference is they're not conjoined like Arora and Otto. However, it is very similar because you have Laird doing the range attacks and then you have Nick doing the heavy attacks. So very similar to Otto and Arora. You have Arora doing the range attacks with throwing her chemical tubes at you, and then you also have Otto where he's attacking you with the buzzsaw. Two other very interesting pieces of trivia that I found was that they are the only prime assets that has no special dialogue when they are pinged by the reagent. However, they do have their own unique ping icon, which is the Kress family's crest. And one more piece of random trivia is, according to the developers of Red Barrel, the family dynamic for the prime assets is Otto and Arora are portrayed as the grandparents. Then you got Coil and Mother Gooseberry. So you have Coil as the father, Mother Gooseberry as the mother, and then you have Franco as the son. Sprinkling in one last thing before I end this video. I did not forget about this. So while researching these two, I learned that they are basically like in an incest relationship.
I cannot stand the heavy tread among the hell.
That's all that it says, that they engaged in it, and there is no documentation for this. I'm going to reread the documentations that I have to make sure I did not miss this anywhere in any of the documentations within the trials. I feel like it was not talked about, but I've seen it online that they have like an incest relationship, and that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to go into further details about it. If you don't know what that is, I guess look it up. Preferably don't look it up if you don't know what that is, but yeah, that's the thing. And that is all that I have for today's video. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching my content. If you enjoyed my content, give me a huge thumbs up. Comment down below how you feel about these prime assets. I know I'm about 4 months late making this video, but comment down below, how do you feel about these new prime assets? Do you like them? I feel like there's only 2 trials with them right now. I'm sure there's going to be more trials that's going to be focused on Arora and Otto in the future, because when you go into the trials and you look at things for the police station, you'll see some more coming soon. I believe it's the same thing about the fun park. More is coming soon as well. So hopefully we have more coming soon with Arora and Otto. Hopefully we get some more lore regarding them as well, since they're technically the grandparents of all the prime assets within the trials right now. In my previous video, I did focus on the imposters within the Outlast trials, so if you want to check that out, I'll link that at the end of this video. And if you are actively playing the Outlast trials, good luck on your therapy. Good luck on that invasion mode. I've really been enjoying invasion mode ever since they drop it, and I'll catch you next time.
This is a little extra.